Hi everyone, welcome to this very channel, and on this very video I want to talk about the science of an addiction. It's important for us to note that an addiction is a chronic relapsing brain disorder characterized by repetitive act or pattern of carrying out a task. Alright, whenever the need to carry out a task or carrying out that task causes a great distress to an individual, we say that an addiction has set in. An addiction can take on different forms. It can be a sexual addiction, it can be screen addiction, it can be a social media addiction, it can be gambling addiction, it can be social addiction where the individual is dependent on other persons. It's important for us to understand how an addiction takes place and for us to get better understanding what an addict passes through. So a couple of persons may have relative, sibling or partner out there that is struggling with any form of an addiction, and we don't understand how they feel and what goes on in their mind. Now let's move on to how to handle this very situation where the substance user is finding his or herself. How do you handle it? First, there must be the need to pause, to stop, and the need to take a total elimination from that environment or the substance from that individual, where we now talk about a rehab, possibly. So you need to change the environment of that individual, possibly to a rehab center, and give him a time frame. We call it detoxification phase, for that substance to get rid of his system. If not, he will not be able to make better judgment. The triggers or the response or the spikes coming from the basal ganglia will still be louder than that of the prefrontal cortex, which will cause a better judgment. So the next thing is that when this substance have gotten rid of the individual system or that particular act or habit that the individual is engaging, is it the screen addiction, when you take the screen away from the individual, either phone or any of the television and so on, or you take that possibility from that individual engaging in gambling or the sex and so on, that dopamine that was in high release will reduce, and so the individual can make a proper and better judgment. The next thing that should play is the aspect of learning new things that can give him reward, and more of these things that can give a better spikes of dopamine or feeling pleasure are more of recreational in nature. So he will now choose activities that are pleasurable to him, either as indoor activities or outdoor, either to play it as an individual or in group, as long as it can produce pleasure. So the individual should focus more on those ones that he enjoys, and then it causes him or her pleasure, rather than those ones that are boring. And then we now have other things like religious activities, which are to help him have a better insight, help him get a better judgment, help him to also see that people are also concerned about him, and then that depending on what the individual believes, that God is also concerned about his situation and is not alone, and there's also a room for solution. So he has to learn all these new things, learn new habits, new ways that will give him better pleasure, but with minimal effect on his health or no effect on his health and then his psychological health also. Then he has to practice this act for so long to master it, so that you can feel comfortable to practice it despite the cravings, the presence of the triggers for this individual. And the next thing is that there will be need for support, which may be the relative, which may be a friend, a colleague, and so on, coupled with the different strategies to handle these substances, ranging from the 5Ds, which I've talked in one of my live streams. If you check on this channel, you will see I talked about the 5Ds, ranging from drinking water, distraction, discuss with people, and then taking a deep breath. And then you now talk about the last one, which will be, I talk about drink water, deep breath, discussion, distract, and you delay. And then the next one, which is the PPA, you avoid people that use this substance, avoid the places they use it, and then the environment, and then you also avoid activities that will make you use the substance. And the last one have to do with the pharmacotherapy alongside the psychotherapy. Pharmacotherapy simply means the use of medications, which will help him handle the phase of withdrawal comfortably, and then the psychotherapy help him to make better judgment, to get insight into his condition, and to make better decision. Whereas the pharmacotherapy, on the other hand, also handle other things, such as the other mental health disorder or physical health conditions that may have led him or her onto the use of this substance, and also there are also some of those medications that suppress the cravings, and then we also handle other psychological disorders or mental health disorders. With this, the individual can comfortably come out of any form of addiction, whether substance use, whether sexual, whether screen addiction, whether a social addiction or internet addiction, depending on any form of them. I believe this particular video is actually useful to you out there. Let me know what you feel about this particular topic on the comment box, and let me know in the comment box if it was actually useful and informative. And if you need more of this, also let me know on the comment box. I look forward to that moment where this particular channel becomes your most favorite click. For now, thank you and stay blessed.